Good evening from InvestSharp.com. This is Randy Smotone with your Tuesday, January 4th market update. So we had a kind of a wild day in the market. We started out really weak in the morning, and of course the commodities were getting hit with the gold and the silver and everything, pulling everything back. And overall, the market actually held up pretty well. The Russell was pretty weak, and but overall, that wasn't too bad. So we had the dollar was up a little bit, and gold, silver, copper, and oil were all down. Light sweet crude futures were down $2.17 to settle at $89.38 a barrel. So take a look at the UUP, the dollar ETF. So got a little bounce here, but we're we actually closed just above the 50-day moving average, this orangish goldish line here. So not much volume behind it. And then over to the point and figure of the West Texas Minute Crude point and figure chart here, we right around hit this double top breakout, right? I mean, we should have support somewhere around 88. I don't know if it'll hold, but somewhere around here we should. And also, take a look at this is actually the light sweet crude oil futures, CL. This is a 6-month daily chart. So this goes back to actually the August of 2010 time frame, 2010 time frame, right? So here, this is a 6 month. So we're in this rising wedge. So oil is trending higher. It couldn't break out of this wedge yet, right? So it's possible if we come down and touch the bottom of this wedge, we could get back to $85 a barrel. But like I said, we'll see if we have a little bit of support through here. There's definitely quite a bit of selling. As the volume you can see is pretty high today here on oil. So we'll see where it goes from here. But overall, the trend is up. All right, so let's go take a look at the Dow. So the Dow actually was showing the most strength today. Wound up finishing positive on the day, up 20 points, up 0.18%, and hanging in there really well. In fact, most of the Dow stocks were looking pretty good today. If you wanted to own anything today, it was probably a Dow stock. They were definitely holding up really well. Let's look at the S&P. S&P down just slightly. Another one. Most of the financials were hanging in there today too, and we'll look at some, but they're looking pretty good. NASDAQ, no damage done here either. I mean, still holding above the 10-day moving average, and I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have a little more of a pullback, or if we're just gonna wind up doing kind of some sideways action here for a while. But now kind of the risk was definitely a little off today. Russell, broke below, which is done before, broke below the 10. Did hold though. Here, it got a bounce off the 20-day. This green line is the 20-day moving average, so it did get a little bounce off that. But the momentum index here, the stochastics momentum index, definitely pointing down. So volume in the Qs were less than average. They were just slightly less than average volume. Volume in the SPY was right around average volume, but volume in the diamonds, the DIA, was 70% above average daily volume. Lots of volume in the diamonds. And then IWM volume was 87% above average daily volume. So lots of volume in the IWM as well. All right, so let's take a look at GLD. Take a look at gold. So gold is back around. We're actually still holding the uptrend line. A little bind here. I know it's all this doom and gloom, and everyone's expecting gold to go much lower, and maybe it will, but it may not, since everyone's expecting it to go so much lower. So we'll see. This is the ETF here, but so far we're kind of stalled here around the uptrend line, and we actually closed just above the 50-day moving average, which we've been bouncing off of, but I don't know if we will this time. This is quite a bit of selling, but we've had a lot of selling before and went back up, so we will probably know here tomorrow or next couple of days. Silver still holding the 20-day and looking pretty, looking fine here. Definitely a pullback, but still holding above the 20, above the 30. Copper also still above the 10-day moving average, so again, quite a bit of selling, but still, definitely a nice uptrend. That didn't change much of that in one day, of course. Euro, the FXE. So we're, we definitely did have some selling here. We are below the 50 still on the FXE, even though we did, break higher from this downtrend line, right? We did break higher, so we're still within above the 30, trapped between the 30 and 50 right now on the euro. And then the volatility index, which was kind of a main, it spiked up to 1824 and then it come all the way back down and closed down 1.31%. go take a look at the McClellan oscillator. Whoops, I don't want to do that. All right, so NYSE McClellan. I mean, we didn't move that much. We're still very neutral. We're not overbought, not oversold. We can go either way here. Take a look at the sectors. So 4 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green. The drug index had the large percent gain, up 0.79%. Utilities were green, healthcare, semis, and of course the gold index was the weakest for the second day in a row, and it was down today 2.37%. So over to chart watch, there was quite a few breakouts today actually, and quite a few things holding up pretty well. Start off with Focus Media having a nice breakout here out of this kind of a wedge pattern. It's had quite a bit of volume coming into it. It had a lot of volume today as well, and it closed just slightly above the 50-day moving average. Again, this kind of a goldish orange line. 50-day moving average closed right above that, so this is pretty interesting. It could be continuing its uptrend back up to the 27, so definitely worth keeping your eye on. VIP Vimple breaking higher, has got over this downtrend lines, had a little volume coming in. I know some people are watching that one. Sienna, big breakout, lots of volume today. Disney had a big breakout today. Wynn breaking higher after breaking out yesterday, still looks good. Ford made a new high there, but and lots of volume there, so it wants to go higher, but it did kind of close right around this previous high. Joy Global, talked about it yesterday as well. Still hanging tough. It's one of those that's looking real good, holding up. C-Trip breaking out above the downtrend line here. You touched here, and here. It's had some resistance. Had volume coming in today. It is below the 50, but this may have finally stopped its falling here. So, and may have put in a bottom down here. We'll see. Some media stuff. Nice breakouts today. Time Warner breaking out with volume today. NWSA. News Corp breaking out above this downtrend line today with volume. Should have some higher prices. VMware hanging really tough today. Looked like it had a little dragonfly a doji today, so it looks like it wants to go higher. Auto Parts real well today. TRW taking out that previous high. Lots of volume there. Borg Warner, it did pull back with selling, but they didn't sell it down all that much. They didn't get too far with that. And then CVGI, my little commercial vehicle group, tons of volume in this thing. Look at all this volume it's had buying, right? And it held the 30, and then it breaking out above this downtrend line, and it is holding its breakout. It does have the 20 and the 10 above it, but it's looking good. It looks like it wants to go higher. Of course, it's up 2.49% today, so it's really strong. BP breaking higher today. Apple still looks good, hanging tough. Petrohawk Energy looks like it's ready to break out above the downtrend line. It had a Dragonfly Doji today. It's got a lot of volume coming back in, so it's worth watching. Talked about Iconics brand, which of course was my December stock of the month, and a lot of volume coming in there, going higher. Looks good. X still holding on real well. SanDisk still holding up after it broke out of its little flag. Still looks pretty good. Intap looks like it wants to take out that previous high. Did have a little selling today, but wound up pretty neutral as far as a pretty neutral doji there. Hewlett Packard breaking out a little higher there above the downtrend line. And let's see, IBM's looking real good. Looks like it wants to go higher. Sohu, this one is still messing around down here, but there is definitely volume sneaking back in, right? Volume. So it looks like it's about ready to possibly take off again. So we'll see, but it's been a little sneaky there, but it looks like it wants to go. Of course, Mosaic, had earnings, beat earnings, up 3% right now after hours. So tomorrow, of course, the ags will be on watch. You need to look at POT, AGU, IPI, Monsanto, MON, CF. Probably watch Deere as well, the construction ag machinery stocks. Deere, AGCO, another construction ag machinery stock, which is one of our long-term holdings. Let's watch that one. Let's see, FDX, FedEx still looks fine here. Pretty neutral buying and selling, but still hanging out there above the moving averages. APA, couldn't sell it off today either. Apache real strong. Hess real strong. BXP still hanging tough. CSX, the railroads still look good. along with UMP, KSU. I'll get them down here in a minute. KSU, all right. Talked about this one the other day. This Computer Sciences Corp seemed like wants to go higher, and this is a kind of a nice looking chart here, right? Nice breakout here. So of course, probably won't go straight up, but should have a nice return of the continuation to the uptrend. Looks good. Aluminum, of course, doing well. Alcoa is going higher. Aluminum core of China breaking higher today over this prior resistance level here with lots of volume to support that. CVH, these healthcare, a lot of the healthcare stocks, these healthcare plan, insurers are breaking out. CVH, WCG pulled back a little today, but it did hold around that 30 that was prior resistance, possibly new support, right around that area. Humana, I need to wait for it to take out the downtrend line, but it did hold up well today, so it might be coming soon. Of course, financials, a lot up, like I said, a lot of them held up. Huntington Bank Corp looks good. GS still looks good. Morgan Stanley looking good. JP Morgan looking good. Bank of America, Citi, all looks good. So on deck for tomorrow, as far as economic data, we will get the ADP employment report at 8:15. We got the employment situation report at the end of the week. Then we'll get the ISM non-manufacturing index at 10 a.m. and then weekly petroleum status report at 10:30. Of course, that's all in Eastern time. So, of course, there's no change in the market signals here. I mean, we didn't move enough today, really, no big deal, right? So we're still all on buy signals, all price objective, nothing's changed. We have to go sell off a lot to go on to sell signals. So, all right, and of course, tomorrow's Wednesday. Sometimes Wednesdays are a little crazy trading too, so we'll see how that plays out. But that is it for today. Thanks for watching.